I'm Jody Hayden, co-owner of Grocer's Chocolate. I own the business with my husband. We have 2 little boys, and then we depend on this amazing staff and team of people to make this little business operate every day. And I got started in chocolate after working in specialty coffee for many years. I think a passion for social justice took me into coffee originally. I went to graduate school for social justice, but it was organizational management focused on social change. So I went into coffee after living in Chiapas, Mexico for a year with Mayan farmers. I really wanted to help their cause. And so Higher Grounds Trading Company in Traverse City is the business I co-founded with my previous husband. And then this business I got to know and love because my friend Mimi Wheeler founded it in 2004. As she was growing Grocer's Daughter Chocolate, we were growing Higher Grounds. And so we would meet and share business, ideas, concerns, things like that. And when she got to the point that she wanted to sell Grocer's Daughter, she and I had led trips to Ecuador together. We were really close friends, like family. And so it was just a perfect fit. I was leaving Higher Grounds at the time. I had gone to Minneapolis to work for a larger coffee roasting company, and so I learned a lot while I was there. And and so it's always, I love living in Traverse City. I'm happy to be home, and it's really, an honor to carry on her legacy of chocolate. Our business is called Grocer's Daughter Chocolate because our founder was raised in Denmark. She was indeed the grocer's daughter in the little village that she grew up. Her family ran the only grocery store, and they lived above it. And so she named this business in honor, of her past and her family. So we love Grocer's Daughter Chocolate. That name, it's ours, and we're keeping it. Yeah. At Grocer's Daughter Chocolate, we are known for our clean ingredient confections. What that means is that we source really great chocolate. So we start with really high quality ingredients. Not just our chocolate, but the dairy we use is local. Our honey is local. I mean, we use dozens of local ingredients, and so nothing artificial, no artificial colors, no preservatives ever go into our chocolate. And our chocolate is also really celebrating the flavors of cacao. So cacao is much like wine, where it's grown in the world, what terroir, is surrounding it, affects the final flavor of the chocolate. And so we celebrate that and showcase that. So any ingredients we're going to add to our confections are highlighting the natural flavor of the chocolate, which is really different than most confections companies because sugar will always be the first ingredient. And so we love to, taste chocolate from all over the world. We use Ecuadorian chocolate from 4 small co-ops that we source in partnership with a woman in Ecuador, from Ecuador, named Jenny Samaniego. She has her own chocolate company called Connection, and so we work in partnership with her. One of the things that's fascinating about being in chocolate right now is that we consider it a renaissance. The Mesoamericans originally were consuming chocolate, and they had very sophisticated flavor profiles. Most of them were drinking it as a beverage, but they liked different spices and sweeteners like achiote and honey. And so the Europeans took it to Europe, and they made it a little bit more consistent in flavor. So they added milk, they started the process of making bars and alkalizing cocoa. Some of those things that we use today in baking came about in the times that the Europeans had taken cacao over to the continent and industrialized it. It made the flavor balance a little bit less bold and acidic, but to us, good cacao will have some brightness, just like coffee. There should be some acidity because it helps balance out the flavor. Our chocolate is called Nacional, so it's an heirloom variety. Just like wine, grapes, just like coffee, there are different varieties, and there's different flavor profiles that go along with those varieties. And it's really fun for us because we get to celebrate, this product as an agricultural product too. I get this question a lot, what is your favorite chocolate? And it is indeed like picking my favorite child because I love a lot of them. I think it's kind of the mood I'm in. So I do love a midday cup of coffee with like a dark chocolate bonbon. Really, any of them are delicious. But sometimes, like if I'm in the mood for a dessert, I want a milk chocolate, like our Diane Bar milk chocolate with caramelized caramelized almonds, and we caramelize them in maple syrup, is delicious. Sometimes I want a drinking chocolate, so I want a mug of hot chocolate. We do a milk, a dark, and a half and half blend, and that half and half blend is just amazing. Yeah, so I have lots of favorite products. I think, our bark, our kind of thinner bark, it melts on your mouth so well. It really just depends on the mood I'm in. One of the things I like about being a small business is that we can contribute to our community. In fact, it's really one of our core values. I don't think that I personally could, gain wealth and make wealth if I'm not giving something back, not just to our community, but to our supply chain too. But in our community, we joke internally that certain seasons are kind of like nonprofit seasons for us because we end up giving both product and money out quite generously, But we love to do that, and it's hard to list all the nonprofits and schools that we donate to because we do it quite often. But it's an honor, and it's nice to get to see the face of a student that comes in, and we can help their project out. There's lots of great things to support in our community, from fresh water to children's advocacy, and we're involved with a lot of that. As a small business owner, I think some of the challenges that we face are seasonality, right? We're in northern Michigan, and our season, it's kind of feast or famine sometimes. We are starting to level it out because we're shipping across the country. So what we're finding is that our folks that are coming to visit us in the summer are now shipping, to themselves and to their loved ones. So that helps us, but still, the seasonality is a balancing act for us. I think, finding great staff, I feel fortunate that we have one of the best teams around, but we need to grow our staff, and so we're always looking for more good people to join us. I think the real recent challenge that we're trying to overcome is that our costs have gone up so considerably so quickly that we're trying to adjust to that, and really a lot of it is labor costs, and I philosophically think our service workers should be paid more. I think our own staff should be paid more. And so it's something I want to see. It just happens so rapidly. And ultimately we have to pass that along to the customer. And so it's trying to make those decisions on when to do a price increase. We don't want to do any more than we have to because we don't want to, hit our customers in the pocketbook, but it's the reality of our economy right now. And ultimately, like I said, I think it's a good thing. I have a lot of small business owners ask me this question, what advice do I have? I think, a few of the things I've been learning about myself through the pandemic is to follow your gut. Like a lot of times your instinct is right, and your product better than anybody else. So, when those really hard decisions need to be made, like listen to your gut. Also, reach out for help. And so this year, because of labor issues, we hired an outside HR consultant to help us put together a more competitive compensation offering to people. And she is phenomenal, and it's not knowledge that I have myself. And so reaching out for help. And there's free resources in our community through SCORE, through the SBDC, and so there's lots of great resources. So reach out for help, or to another business owner, and I do that myself quite frequently. Coming out of a couple years of being in the pandemic, I can tell you early on the pandemic for us was scary, like it was for everyone else. I really didn't know it was going to happen to us, and it is our livelihood. It's the livelihood of, some of our other year-round staff. So, it was a huge concern. I think the government got relief money out quickly. I think it was deployed very quickly, in my opinion, and so we did take advantage of that. But what we saw pretty early on is that our customers just rallied around us. And so those first few months of the pandemic, we were breaking records shipping out to people, right? Because nobody was leaving their house. And we were getting the sweetest messages. And so I feel like that helped us, get through some of the other hurdles. Then came summer, then came all of these, policies that were new to us. And we're still a small business. We don't have a lot of resources, so we had to be really agile. Yeah. And sometimes I felt like I was playing a game of Frogger, trying to, navigate and trying to avoid all these obstacles or trying to make it across the road without getting, swiped off. But we're fine. We thrive and we are absolutely fine. And it's really because of our staff and our customers.